Brajajana Ranjana Sodanandana Brajajana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Nandana Brajajana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Nita Gaura Haribol, 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 Nita Gaura Haribol. Grantara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Puhutteko te kaikki suomea vai englantia? Suomea. Mutta joo, in the internet there's English speaking people, so we speak in English. Okay. Aha, mutta siellä on myös English speaking. So today we are reading Srimad-Bhagavatam 5th canto, chapter 14 and verse number 24. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the name of the chapter is The Forest of Enjoyment, and the verse is Muktastato yadi bandhat devadatta upachinati tasmadapi vishnumitra ityanavastiti. Please read after me. Mukta, liberated. Tata, from that. Yadi, if. Bandhat, from the government imprisonment or being beaten by the protector of the woman. Devadatta, person named Devadatta. Upachinati, takes the money from him. Tasmat, from the person named Devadatta. Api, again. Vishnumitra, a person named Vishnumitra. Iti, thus. Anavastiti, the riches may not stay in one place, but pass from one hand to another. So the verse 24 is like follows. Stealing or cheating another person out of his money, the conditioned soul somehow or other keeps it in his possession and escapes punishment. Then another man named Devadatta cheats him and takes the money away. Similarly, another man named Vishnumitra steals the money from Devadatta and takes it away. In any case, the money does not stay in one place. It passes from one hand to another. Ultimately, no one can enjoy the money, and it remains the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Riches come from Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and the goddess of fortune is the property of Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goddess of fortune cannot stay anywhere but the side of Narayana. Therefore, another of her name is Chanchala, restless. She cannot be peaceful unless she is in the company of her husband. Narayana, she cannot be peaceful unless she is in the company of her husband Narayan. For example, Lakshmi, who was carried away by the materialistic Ravana. Ravana kidnapped Sita, the goddess of fortune belonging to Lord Ram. As a result, Ravana's entire family, opulence, and kingdom were smashed. And Sita, the goddess of fortune, was recovered from his clutches and reunited with Lord Ram. Thus, all property, riches, and wealth belong to Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 5:29. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the true beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, and he is the supreme proprietor of all the planetary systems. Foolish materialistic people collect money and steal from others' thieves, but they cannot keep it. In any case, it must be spent. One person cheats another person cheats on someone else. Therefore, the best way to possess Lakshmi is to keep her by the side of Narayana. This is the point of the Krishna consciousness movement. We worship Lakshmi and Radharani along with Narayana Krishna. We collect money from various sources, but that money does not belong to anyone but Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayana. If money is utilized in the service of Lakshmi and Narayana, the devotee automatically lives in an opulent way. However, if one wants to enjoy Lakshmi the way Ravana did, he will be vanquished by the laws of nature, and whatever few possessions he has will be taken away. Finally, death will take away everything, and that is the representative of Krishna. Muktasdato yadi bandha devadatta upachinati tasmad api Vishnumitra iti anavastiti. Stealing or cheating another person out of his money, the conditioned soul somehow or other keeps it in his possession and escapes punishment. Then another man named Devadatta cheats him and takes the money away. Similarly, another man named Vishnumitra steals the money from Devadatta and takes it away. In any case, the money does not stay in one place. It passes from one hand to another. Ultimately, no one can enjoy the money, and it remains the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Agyanatimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svaparantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Sita Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Scha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are reading from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, the verse of the forest of material enjoyment, the chapter, and we are talking about the money which is sweeter than honey, which the conditioned soul somehow or other trying to keep in his possession and trying to hoard it and get hold of it. But the money is not staying in one place. It's because Lakshmi, she's called Chanchala. Another name for her is Chanchala. Because she is never staying in one place unless she is at the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. So only if we are connecting Lakshmi with Narayan, it will be staying. Otherwise, it will be always moving. And there is some people who are very rich in India, and they know this science. The rich families, they have been rich for generations, and they know that they have to use their money to, they open temples, like Birla family, they open temples, and many other, they open temples, engage their money in serving the Supreme Lord, because they know if they don't use it for a good purpose, then the money will not stay. So if you are clever, you know how to make a permanent, that the more you connect the money to Krishna, the more you will be also having. The more you give, the more you also get. What to speak of the spiritual benefits, even only materially also you will benefit by giving to Krishna, by getting more money, which you can get more to Krishna. So therefore, there's no lack of any money in this world. There's only lack of devotional service. People should engage everything they have in devotional service. But because in the age of Kali, there is it's in Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, 10th verse. It says that Prayenal puayusa sabhya kalav asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya yubadrita. O learned one, in this age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. This is the situation in the age of Kali. People are not very inclined to do devotional service. Therefore, they are very unlucky and always disturbed, and they have very short lives. And because they are misguided, they don't get any knowledge about how to make their lives fortunate. But if we are very fortunate, like we have all been, we have all come in contact with this Hare Krishna movement, we have come in contact with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have all been altered our path, which would have been for sure, at least in my case, it would have been a very disastrous path, just engaging in materialistic activities in this material world and being suffering the threefold material miseries, like in the material world, is very, very prominent. We can only avoid the miseries of material existence if we are taking shelter of the transcendental spiritual nature of devotional service, engaging our senses and our minds in serving Krishna. In the Srimad-Bhagavatam 5th canto, 5th chapter, 4th verse, it said that Nunam pramatta kurutevi karma yadindriya pritaya aprinoti nasadu manya yata atmanoyam asan apikleshada ashadeha. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living, engages in all kinds of sinful activities. He does not know that due to his past misdeed, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of misery. Actually, a living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded a material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it is not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he actually gets material bodies one after another. People think that they can do any kind of any damn thing and they don't have to suffer reactions. That's an illusion. We are now having whatever we have is because of our past deeds, and in the future, next moment, we will have what we have according to our present deeds. So if we are acting in a bad way, we will suffer in the future. This answers the question which the Christians usually don't know how to answer, which says that if why does God allow sin to happen in this material world? Sin happens because we are engaged, because it's not that God is forcing this sin to happen on us. Or the question is, why do good things happen to bad people? Why an innocent child suffers immensely, but we don't know why he's suffering. Why is good? Is God cruel because he makes somebody who is innocent suffer? The answer to this question is that nobody is innocent. Everybody has a past. The fact that you take birth in a very bad situation is because of your past misdeeds. And if you take birth in a very good situation, it's because of your good misdeeds. But the problem is, if you take birth in a good situation, you forget Krishna, you forget God, and you just engage in sinful activities and sense gratification, and therefore you will go down. You will not go forward. So God is not, he's neutral. It's a living entity. He's just getting what he sows. As you sow, you will see. As you see, how does it go? Finish. As you sow, you will reap. So as you sow, you will reap. If you put bad seeds, you will get bad crop. If you put good seeds, you will get a good crop. So sinful activities cause bad things to happen, and if there is no pious activities, then the whole world will go into a very bad whirlpool of dangerous situations, and ultimately war and pestilence and disease will come and make us more and more suffer. But in Bhagavatam, first chapter 8, first account of 8 chapter 26th verse, it said that Janmaisvarya Sruta Shibir Edhamana Madam Puma Naivarthatya Abidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So there's a good thing also about this age of Kali, because there's so much suffering. The people are very materially exhausted. So they will improve, they will probably at some point realize that it's hopeless. We can't achieve our goals of high education and bodily beauty and great opulence and enjoyment, and they get frustrated. Ultimately, people become mad at some point. Many people are crazy nowadays because they are all their endeavors to enjoy has failed, and it doesn't sink into them that there's something wrong with them, and ultimately they go crazy. But those who are intelligent, even in the suffering position, they understand that there must be something higher in life. There's some purpose in life. Life is not just a struggle for existence. And those people can easily approach Krishna's lotus feet because they are desperate. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 4 kinds of people surrender to me. And those first class is those who are suffering. And the second class is those who want something out of Krishna, they want something from Krishna. We don't have so many, some material opulence. We don't have so many of those because we don't have any material opulence. So, but maybe those clever ones, they approach Krishna because they want to have some material, because they know that they can't get it by just hitting their head against the wall. So they try to do some pious activities and that way make progress. And then there is those who are curious. They want to know what is the purpose of life. And then there's those who are consciously looking for absolute truth. They consciously look, they search, and they study. They study different religions, they study different philosophies, they study different ideologies, and they try to understand what is the purpose of life. They are the most intelligent, those who are looking for the absolute truth. And ultimately, they also come to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna's lotus feet after being going. If you are honest and sincere, Krishna will show you the path to his lotus feet because he's in your heart. He knows what you want. He knows, do you want me or do you want to be cheated? So Krishna also gives you opportunities to be cheated if you are not really wanting him. So there's many cheating religions also trying to cheat you away from his lotus feet, saying that you can do any damn thing and it is spiritual, which is totally nonsense. It's not that you can do any damn thing and that is spiritual. You have to follow the scriptures, you have to follow the authorities, the previous teachers, and in that way you will understand how to go back to Krishna. Not by doing whatever you think is right. So in the Srimad-Bhagavatam 5th Canto 5th chapter, 1st verse, Lord Rishabhadev says, Nayam deho deho bhajamni loke kashtan kaman arhate vidbhujan ye tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam sudhayet yasmad brahma saukyam tvanantam. Lord Rishabhadev told his sons, my dear boys, all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs, that its tool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of pure devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. So, Lord Rishabhadeva says we should not work hard and day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available for even dogs and hogs. That eats tool. Yeah, everybody gets food. Why we have to work so hard? Krishna has already arranged everything. Even the elephant gets his food, the pigeons get their food, the dogs and the hogs they get their food. Human beings also, they get their food. They have destined to get their food. So why should we make the whole work so hard just to get food or sense gratification? We should work hard to try to attain Krishna's lotus feet and be prepared to engage in penance and austerity to attain that divine position. Even in the material world, if you want to achieve anything, we know those people in Silicon Valley who are working hard to become like billionaires. They are hardly sleeping. They're working like around the clock. They're working, sleeping maybe 4 hours, 3 hours. They are working around the clock because if you want to be successful in your field, you have to do sacrifices. You have to dedicate yourself. You don't do anything half-heartedly. If you are lukewarm, you will not get anywhere. You have to have some passion, some fire. Yes, I want to achieve my goal. I want to achieve Krishna. Same thing in spiritual life. If you want to have success in spiritual life, you have to have a fire, a burning desire. Yes, I want to have Krishna. I want to make progress. I want to love Krishna. And we are ready to do whatever it takes to make progress. And that is even in the material world, you can't be successful without having some burning desire to make progress in whatever field you are doing. So we should not be lukewarm. We should be full of fire for devotional service, full of passion for Krishna, not passion for sense gratification. In the Srimad-Bhagavatam 4th Canto, 22nd chapter, 39th verse, is a verse, Yad parapankaja palasa vilasa bhaktya karmasayam grahitam upargrathayanti santa tadvanariktamatayo yatayo piruddha Srotoganastam agaranam bhajasa sudevam. The devotees who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome hard-knotted desires for fruity activities, because this is very difficult. The devotee, the jnani, and yogi, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in devotion service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. So when you engage in the service of lotus feet of the Lord, then those hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities, they will be overcome. But it's very difficult otherwise. Even the jnanis and yogis, jnanis, they try to understand. They understand philosophically everything. They cut everything to pieces. This is not the truth. This is not spiritual. They analyze. And the yogis, they you severe austerities. But even Vishwamitra Muni, he was doing austerities for thousands of years. He was meditating. But then Indra sent Apsara, a heavenly damsel, and he heard he came and he heard the ankle bell of this lady, ding, 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 and he opened his eyes, and he fell down from his austerities, and from that came one child called Shakuntala. So we see that yoga doesn't give you this strength, because ultimately jnana yoga actually makes the hard, but you know also, because for devotional service you have to have a soft heart. You have to have a very soft heart, and you have to have feelings. But if you do a lot of austerities, you might become a little bit cold-hearted, and that's not good. But you also need, it comes automatically from bhakti, comes also renunciation. Naturally, you lose attraction for material energy because you are so attracted to Krishna. But if you just try to renounce everything without attraction to Krishna, then you might become hard-hearted. So we should become attracted to Krishna, then automatically everything is success will be there. Therefore, we should always chant and hear about Krishna, read about his glories, chant the holy name, sing his glories, associate with devotees who are singing his glories. In the 6th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, 17th chapter, 28th verse, it said that Narayana para sarve nakuschana bibhyati sarvapavarga narakesu apitulyartha darshinaha. Devotees solely engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of God and Narayana never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, the liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. So devotees don't have to fear anything. Krishna, they are always serving Krishna. They have no fear. That is one quality of devotional devotees. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he was Second World War and the Japanese were bombing Calcutta, people were running into the bomb shelters. Prabhupada, he saw all this as Krishna's Virata Rupa, his universal form, destructive form. So he didn't say, he was saying, no, I'm eating my kachoris now. I don't go anywhere. So he was just eating his kachoris and having faith that Krishna will not let the bomb come on his house. And he kept on eating his kachoris. Devotees are fearless. They don't have to fear any condition in life because we do devotional service. And if we die, we continue doing devotional service wherever we go. So if you are living or dying, it doesn't matter. If you are just doing devotional service, everything is all right. If actually death comes, devotee is very hopeful. Actually, I will get quickly to Krishna. Of course, we never make a suicide because we don't. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that if you could go back to Krishna by making a suicide, I would have done it hundreds of times. So we never encourage suicide, because if you make a suicide, you become a ghost. You don't get a new birth. You stay in your astral body as a ghost, because you have to have a certain amount of existence in that subtle body, and so you will continue there until you will get the mercy of Lord Shiva, and then you can take birth somewhere where there is some illicit activities going on. So devotees don't have any fear. They just have faith that wherever we are, even in hellish planets, even if we happen to go to hell, we can still serve Krishna. If we because we have all been so fortunate that we have gotten this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have gotten this mantra, we can always remember this mantra, even if we are in any condition, even if you are in a hellish condition, which is actually, hellish condition is in a subtle, form, you're going to hell. So it's in a mental form. It's not in a, it's a, so, but you have your mind with you, and your mind is, in your mind you have the Hare Krishna mantra, so you can even chant Hare Krishna mantra there, if you happen to go there. And then hell becomes heaven. Actually, we are in hell now. We are in Helsinki. So it's a very cold and dark place. That is very hellish. Actually, Bhagavatam says, Prabhupada says in the purport, to take birth in a very dark and cold place is a sign of sinful activities. So we have all taken birth here because we have done some sinful activities. If we were pious, we would take birth somewhere where it's very beautiful and sunshine. But so we are here in this hellish condition of Helsinki. So we can take shelter of chanting Hare Krishna even here and be fully happy even in minus 20 degrees, which is right now we had minus 20. We can chant Hare Krishna and be happy. In Srimad-Bhagavatam 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse, it is said that Tasmat Sankirtana Vishnu Jagad Mangalam Aham Amhasam Mahatam Api Kaurabhya Vidya Aikantika Nishkritam. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reaction of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of the Sankirtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. From 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse. So chanting can take away all reactions to sinful activities, and it's the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. So if we take it seriously, others will also take it seriously. And if you take it seriously, wherever you are, then those who are around you will also take it seriously. Therefore, take it seriously, please. Take this chanting Hare Krishna mantra very seriously. It will save you from the most dangerous position which we are in right now. We are in the material body, in the material world, and we don't know what will happen next. Who knows what will happen next? We can go at any moment, but if we have the holy name, we have everything fine. We have everything okay. Is there any questions or comments? Kalpa Parva Prabhu. Oh, yes.
Comments?
Yes.
If Krishna devotees go to hell, then he's not there for a long time because they don't like Krishna.
Yes. So if he goes there to preach. Yes. Yes. Hanuman Gyana, Prabhu.
You explained that every living entities, they get their food by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
But we know that during centuries, millions of people, they have died for nourishment. So how can we explain that?
Yes, this is because this is very relevant to this verse today. Stealing or cheating another person's out of his money conditions. So some people cheat or steal. Like in the 70s, 80s, to keep the prices of wheat, the governments of America, they were pouring tons of wheat into the oceans. There's so much production of wheat, but just to artificially keep certain price, they throw it away or burn it. If there is enough food on the planet, but if it's not distributed properly, then that's because of the mismanagement of the people who are here on the planet. But everybody eats in Finland. Even if you do nothing, you go to social security and you get money from there. I'm working as a social worker. And we are always giving some people, they have no money for food, so we give them some money. We give them something so that they don't have to suffer of hunger. In Finland, you don't have to suffer of hunger. But maybe in Africa, or are you thinking of Africa?
In Asia also.
Asia, yes. It's because of sinful activities. Then people are going to, there's lack of these things.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for a wonderful class. You encourage all of us to become serious. Can you explain why somebody not becomes serious?
Why? Why somebody does become serious? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not serious. I'm not serious. But usually, the reason why people are not having a taste for Krishna consciousness is because they make offenses to devotees. You lose your taste because you make offenses. And that's the sad thing, because in devotional service, we come together to encourage each other to serve Guru and Krishna. And then we make familiarity breeds contempt. We start, like when I first came to temple, I thought, oh, everybody in this here, they are descended from some spiritual realm. They're all floating in the sky. They're pure devotees. But after some time, you start to realize, maybe it's not exactly like that. He also has some mistake and he has some faults, and yeah, it's not exactly so rosy situation, because everybody is coming to this Krishna consciousness from their own conditionings, and they have some mistakes. Like if you put people who are dirty and they go into the shower, some people have been longer in the shower, they are cleaned more, and some people just coming, they have not so clean, but everybody's brushing themselves, everybody's cleaning themselves. So there's no idea to point out, hey, look, your elbow is greasy. What's wrong? You see, his elbow is greasy. And if we make it a big issue, because everybody is in the process, sooner or later, everybody will become pure. If we put too much attention on all these faults, then we might start to criticize devotees and we make offenses, and that is not very good, because then we will lose a taste for Krishna consciousness, and ultimately we go out of Krishna consciousness. Usually what happens, actually it's very easy to get free from sinful reactions, because you just chant Hare Krishna mantra and get free from sinful reaction, but it's more difficult to get free from offenses, because offenses to devotees and offenses to Krishna, they're more difficult to get free from. Ultimately, there's 10 offenses against chanting of the holy names, and if you make offenses to the holy name, the only remedy for those offenses is to chant more. And when you are diseased position, then the chanting is tasting very bitter. And like if you are jaundice, yellow fever, when you have jaundice, eating sugar is very bitter. But if you just keep on eating sugar candy, that's the cure for the jaundice, keltatauti. Then you just eat the sugar, then after some time, the bitterness goes away and you will taste the sugary, nice taste again. And then you are cured. So same way, when we make offenses, then the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra becomes tasteless. We have no taste for chanting of the holy names. And then it's very difficult to chant. But the only cure for this disease is to just keep on chanting. And of course, if you have made offenses to devotees, you go and ask, please, Prabhu, I was making some mistake. Please forgive me, please. I'm a very ignorant fool. I made some offense to you. Please forgive me. And please, everybody, if I made any offenses to you, please forgive me. I'm a rascal and I'm a fool. I made so many mistakes in my life in devotion service. Please forgive me if I made some offenses to all of you who are hearing this, or anyone else also. Because ultimately, we cannot approach Krishna without getting the blessings of his devotees. I want to read you one very nice poem from a famous Odia Vaishnava saint. This was shared by Madhava Nanda Prabhu, who is a Gaur Govinda Maharaj disciple. He lives in Jagannath Puri. So he's doing this Gopal Jiu publication. So he was sharing this famous Odia Vaishnava saint's poem. He was Gopal Krishna. He was born, not our Gopal Krishna here, but this Gopal Krishna was born in 1784 in the town of Prala Kemundi in Ganjan district of Odisha. He was a Gaudiya Vaishnava in the line of Shamananda Prabhu. And although he is not well known in other parts of the world, he is one of the most beloved Gaudiya Vaishnava poets of Odisha, Oriya, where he is known as Bhakta Kavi, devotee poet. And in this first line of his commentary of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's Mana Shiksha, Gopal Krishna explains the subtle difference between the Shiksha and Diksha Gurus. The Diksha Guru is Sambandha Tattva, or the person who establishes, or who literally personally is the connection with Krishna. The mantra that he gives is Krishna, and therefore the Diksha Guru is compared to Krishna. Although he's not Krishna, but he's compared to Krishna. And in his Bhakti Sandarbha Anucheda 237, Jiva Goswami quotes the Vamana Kalpa. He says, Yo mantras sa guru sakshad, yo guru sa hari swayam, guru yasya bhavet tusta tasya tusto hari swayam. Iti. The mantra is Guru, and Guru is the Lord himself. If one's Guru is satisfied, the Lord is satisfied. The Shiksha Guru is compared to Radha, because Radha is Bhakti Devi, the giver of Bhakti. Srimad Govinda Maharaj used to say that the business of the Diksha Guru is to be the ground and legs of the disciple, while the function of the Shiksha Guru is to teach the disciple how to walk, how to use what he or she has gotten from the Diksha Guru. Therefore, the Shiksha Guru is compared to Radha Rani. Since they help the devotee to follow and come closer to their Diksha and Shiksha Gurus, the Vaishnavas are compared to Radha's Gopi companions. In C.C. Madhya Lila 8.203, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes his Govinda Lilamrita. Vibhur api shukarupa svapakasopi bhava kshanam api nahiradam krishnayor yaritesva pravahati rasapustim chid vibhutim vivesha srayatina padammasamka sakinam rasagya. The pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna are self-effulgent. They are happiness personified, unlimited and powerful. Even so, the spiritual humors of such pastimes are never complete without the gopis, the Lord's personal friends. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is never complete without his spiritual potencies. Therefore, unless one takes shelter of the gopis, one cannot enter in the company of Radha and Krishna. Who can be interested in the spiritual pastimes without taking their shelter? So the Diksha Guru is directly Lord Krishna, Govinda. The Shiksha Guru is Srimati Radharani, and the Vaishnavas are confidential girl companions of Radha and Krishna. These three remove obstacles from the devotional path. This is the poet Bhakta Kavi Gopala Krishna. A commentary on Mana Shiksha by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. It's a nice idea. So actually, we cannot approach Krishna without getting all of their mercy. So the Vaishnavas, if we have some grudges or some fights with devotees, we should go and ask, please forgive me. I'm a fallen. Please forgive me. I don't want to cause you any trouble. Of course, if we have some people we don't get along, we can keep a distance, respectful distance, but we don't have to become offensive to. Because there's different chemistries. Some chemicals go well together with others, and some chemicals don't mix. So materially, some people mix better than some people. But still, we should never make any offenses. But by becoming, for example, living in a temple, it's very tight association, and people who come, they are like rough edges. But it's like if you put everybody together in a temple and they roll around like in a washing machine, then the rough edges they become smooth after some time, and so somehow living in a temple sometimes might be some frictions there because they're so intense. It's so intense to live with other devotees, and all your impurities also comes out more easy when you are with other devotees, because like if you have a room I mean, you don't clean it. It looks okay. It looks okay. The dust, we don't see the dust. But when you start to clean the room, then the dust starts to flow in the air and you see, oh, it's so dirty. Same way, we might think everything is all right because we are living in our own privacy somewhere far away. Oh, I'm all right. No problem. But if you come in a situation where all your anarthas, all your it's a challenge, then you might realize, oh, I have so much pride and so much envy, so much lust, so much greed, because they are challenged. Then we might realize that there's some work to be done. And when we associate with devotees, we should see that this devotee, I'm going to be with this devotee eternally. Because when we go back to Godhead, we will be together eternally in the spiritual world. So we should think like that. This is not some temporary association. We have a relationship, eternal relationship together. When we go back to Krishna, we will be together serving Krishna. Now we are serving to Krishna together here. And then we will remember when we see in the spiritual, you remember? Although we don't want to remember the material world, it will be like a nightmare. It's like a nightmare. You don't want to remember the material world anymore. But we all are brothers and sisters on the spiritual level. Therefore, devotees, they can become friends with everybody because they see everybody is a son and daughter of Krishna. We don't distinguish between anyone. And anybody who has inclination to become a servant of Krishna, we are immediately like brothers and sisters with them. We see everybody like brothers and sisters. Even the animals, we don't kill the animals. Even the trees, the plants, we try to take care. We don't try to cause harm to anyone. Therefore, the devotee vision is really purely transcendental. If we have this vision, we can easily make peace all over the world. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Kalpapal Prabhu.
There is in the Bible said that maybe it was Jesus Christ said, whatever you do to me, you do to God.
Yes.
And it's same like us that if we do something to other devotee or spiritual master, it's to harm, then it's harm also to the Krishna.
Yes.
And it's so dangerous.
It's very dangerous. Of all these, that's the most dangerous. Therefore, we should be very careful. Yes, Mataji.
I wonder what's the difference between sin and offense?
Sin is like eating meat, killing animals. That's sinful. Or taking drugs or alcohol or illicit sex life. Causing harm to, also sinful to cause fearfulness in others. That is, you want to add something? Okay, so sins are, we have these 4 regulative principles. Those are sinful activities. But offense is relating to the 10 offenses against the holy name, which is first one, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, to blaspheme devotees of those who are chanting the holy name. You know the 10 offenses. So these are the offenses. And then there's seva parads in the temple. Like I was just asking, Hanuman Prabhu, I want to ask you, because we have this new asana here. This is a pillar behind me. Is that because in the Nectar of Devotion it says that you should not lean against the wall in the temple? But if I lean here, is that the pillar here? Is that the wall? Hanuman, what is your opinion? Kalpapalva Prabhu. What? It's part of the wall, but it's not the wall. So there's offenses against, like, bowing down. These are smaller offenses, minor offenses, but the most serious one is this hatimata of defending devotees. That's the most serious offense. It's like You have mad elephant offense, it's called. If you criticize devotees, it's like you go in the garden, the mad elephant goes in the garden, it starts pulling out all the plants, it just throws the plants around. So same way, if you do hatimata offense to criticize devotees, then you pull out your devotee, your bhakti lata beach, the creeper of devotion, you pull it out. And depending on how serious the offense is, you might be put on hold for few lifetimes. You are not qualified to approach devotional activities. You might be put on hold for a few lifetimes, many lifetimes, if it's a very serious offense, because we should be very careful when we approach spiritual life. It's like walking on a razor's edge. It's not that we can just do whatever damn thing we think we want to do. Any other questions? Yes.
Krishna movement is about not harming anything and minimizing the harm that we do, and like we mentioned before, not to steal. Why dairy is part of the...
Do we milk?
Yes.
Dairy. Yes. That's a good question. Many devotees don't take dairy because of that. But Prabhupada, he was very merciful. He was thinking also about the benefit of the cows.
How about the cows? It's not beneficial for them to steal their food. Afterwards, we kill them because of...
No, we should never kill the cow, but he was thinking that at least if you offer the milk to Krishna, then the cow will get benefited by offering the milk to Krishna. Yeah, he said that if you want to eat meat, you can wait till he dies naturally, then you can eat the cow. But the cow is holy, so it's a holy. It's like a mother. If there's 7 mothers in the scriptures, a cow is one of them. So cow is giving milk, plenty of milk. So there's more than enough also for human beings.
All mammals produce milk when they are pregnant or given birth.
Yeah.
And only during the time that baby needs food from the mother directly.
Yeah.
So only babies drink milk.
But-
Humans are only exception on this.
But also, like we had in Sweden, our farm, we had a cow. She didn't have a calf. She gave milk for 8 years because she was so much loved and cared by devotees. So she kept on giving milk because she reciprocated with the love of devotees. So she was keeping on giving milk. She didn't have any calf. So there is also example of that. But the wrong thing is to kill the cow. But we also kill the plants. We are killing carrots, we are killing cauliflowers, but yeah, but we also kill them. So the problem is it's sinful to kill. So when you offer it to Krishna, then it gets purified. It becomes prasadam. So therefore, even if you eat only vegetarian, but it's not offered to Krishna, it's also some karma in it. But it's much less karma than if you kill a human being or a cow or...
All the cows
are killed. Yes.
If they are males, and if they are females, they become cows and they are raped.
Yeah.
Become pregnant until they die all over again.
It is very demoniac culture, yeah. Therefore, we try to have our own farms where we have our own cows. And ideally, we would live with, we would have that going on.
A lot less
Yeah. But the problem with the cow killing is that if you don't use their milk, they will kill them all anyway. They will kill them if you don't use the cow milk that they are making now. If people stop drinking it, then they will kill them all.
Yes, but that's the cycle of life, and humans, we are producing them. But when we stop producing them, it becomes natural again eventually.
Because, takes quite a long time. And millions of cows will be killed.
Yes,
Anyway.
how many billions of cows are killed every year so we can get our
Yeah,
food?
we are not killing them as devotees. We don't kill cows. We don't do that. We are totally against that. But we are for milk because Krishna likes milk products. He eats nice milk products. So therefore we offer to Krishna milk. He's a cowherd boy. He loves the cows. He enjoys milk that is made by cows, products which is made with milk. So therefore we can't really worship Krishna without. Even it's said in the scriptures that if you offer rice to Krishna, if you don't put ghee on the rice, ghee, you know what is ghee? That's buttermilk, ghee, butter oil. It's demoniac if you don't offer ghee in the rice to Krishna. So therefore we need the cow. Krishna has made this arrangement that we have the cow, and if you take care of them nicely, there's no harm. Like I met one devotee in Italy, in Mayapur once. He was from Italy. I asked him, when did you come to India last time? He said, oh, that was 25 years ago. I said, why? Why you have been so many years away? He said, well, I had a cow. So he said, I was taking care of my cow. So he was lovingly taking care of the cow for 25 years. And naturally, she died after 25 years. So we are not exploiting. She's giving her gifts.
That's a big difference with living with the animal or living by the animal.
Yeah. Yes. But the modern system is very demoniac. Yes, we are correct. And because of that, many devotees, they refuse to take the milk from the shops. But somehow we have to, actually there's a GBC resolution that we should be becoming self-sufficient regarding milk by a certain year or next year. So we should have a plan to have our own milk production. So we need farmers. Please, some farmer join the Hare Krishna movement and start making Krishna conscious farming with Krishna conscious cow care. Yes.
Yes, the solution is to care about cars. So you go and care about cars. Cows. You go to the farm and really take care of them.
Yes.
Because they're beautiful animals.
It's very beautiful.
You don't have to take milk, but you go and take care of cow.
Yeah.
You have more compassion.
There's a movement right now in the West, in the Americas especially, they call it hug a cow. You can just come and be with the cow, and it has very good psychological effect on the people. You just hug a cow and be with the cow. She's such a peaceful animal. She doesn't want harm to anyone. And if you're even close to her, you become very peaceful yourself. So they have this hug a cow organization. You can book a time, 2 hours therapy to just hug your cow.
So in Germany, one person he just counted how much would be if I rescue the cow from the slaughterhouse.
So if you rescue,
And I met some was it something like butcher or some cow owner asked how much you get for the cow to sell it
yes,
to the slaughterhouse. It said 1,500 euros.
1,500 euros for slaughtering a cow. Not much.
Not much. See, he was calculating.
So he calculated
This much money required, this much
that it's more beneficial to keep the cow alive.
So he was buying these cows, which was going to slaughterhouse to save
So he bought, okay, so I'm just repeating so that they hear in the video. So he bought cows in Germany from slaughterhouse. He saved the cows so that they can have their pension. And he made a retirement home for cows. Yeah.
this cow with these farms keeping cows and need to have
Yes.
example of like how you can like make the living by doing it godly in according to the
Yeah, if it is the,
godly principles, not according to this
if there's a will, there is a way.
and ultimately because you don't follow spiritual life, you're not satisfied. There's so much greed. There's I need so much cow.
Yeah.
One cow, the one cow. That's it.
Even just in India, they also did calculation. Just to have one cow that produces cow dung, you get fertilizer. Enough, you save so much money from the cow. Without cow farming is very difficult. Yes.
You said that even when we are in the head, we can chant. But
Yes.
we are in when we are chanting. Why would we be in head?
So you want to answer that?
I can share a story.
So Gopal Krishna Prabhu is sharing a story.
Once his grandson
Indra Prabhu
was telling the story.
telling a story.
Devotee once, the story was devotee who had died.
It's a story about a devotee who had died.
And there's
Two Yamadutas came to this devotee.
and he says, who are you?
They said, "Who are you?"
No, he asked.
He asked, "Who are you?"
They said, I'm Sneak, and I said, I'm Ram Ram.
He said, "I'm Snik, and he's Ram Ram."
Why you came? I was chanting holy name all life.
He said, "Why you came? I chant the holy name my whole life."
I said, you was chanting all the Sneak,
No, they said, "No, you were chanting Snik and Ram Ram." So if you don't chant properly. Yes, good answer. Yeah, but about the cow still, everything is auspicious about the cow. The yogurt you make, your milk you get, the cow dung, the urine. It's even all 300,000 demigods live in the cow. So if you just treat the cow nicely, all auspiciousness will come to you. All the demigods will be happy if you treat the cow nicely. So if you want the blessings, you should take care of the cows. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Snik, Ram Ram.